What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Let's break it down. Told you guys I'd be live on Wednesday because of the short week. As far as trade updates, I didn't do jack today. Literally nothing. Now, I will say I was feeling a little anxious. Something weird's going on with my hand, too, nerves-wise. I kept having, like, random hot spots on my body, like, just boiling hot, but, like, a circle. And then my hand, like, my fingers, felt like I just dripped it in water. It was weird. I kept trying to, like, wipe my hands off. Like, what did I just touch that was wet? Nothing. So I don't know if I'm losing it. I've been staring at the candles a little bit longer, or I Googled it. It said nerve damage or something like that. So I don't know. But either way, being anxious, I just wasn't. The last thing I wanted to do was be thinking about, trading. So today I just didn't do anything. Still made money because I have a bunch of sold calls. So as far as the options that I sold, Theta did its thing, and I made more money. More free internet money, but nothing to talk about, brag about, I guess. I do, however, and I'm just getting everybody a second to get in here. We're about to go live and break down the markets, the dollar, the Russell, the NASDAQ, the S&P. We'll do Bitcoin, and then we're going to do some other tickers. I know what I'm going to do with my GameStop position now. If I can keep collecting $100 per contract instead of using that premium to buy. So like yesterday, I sold a contract on GameStop, collected $102, and I bought 4 more shares of GameStop. Instead of doing that, from now on, I'm going to convert my GameStop to Nvidia. So all the premium I collect, I'm going to buy Nvidia after the split. That's going to be my ultimate. That's what you should do if you're bag holding GameStop series. If you are new to that, anyway, I bought GameStop. That's that. It's not a movement thing. Just going to show you guys some other options while you hold that thing. Gotta love that free internet money. Theta income. Yeah, it's nice being on that side. Not gonna lie. Sell everything and buy Nvidia. Got it. Okay, before I get on with this stream, there may or may not be a move like that coming up in the growth account. Right now we have, Palantir, SoFi. We're selling calls on that each week, and we're taking that money, and it's extra money, right? It's still a weekly income. I'm thinking about selling it all. I really am. Sell it all, and we'll have enough to buy 100 shares of Nvidia, which should net now we'll have to go into margin to do that. Now this is after the split, and after the split, hopefully it pulls back some. We're not just going to buy it at all-time highs like this. I do think Nvidia is probably a little pricey. Get a nice pullback. I am thinking I'm going to do that. What I'll do to get out of margin sooner rather than later, and to not have so much into one ticker, regardless of the ticker and the arguments for it. I do think that's the direction I'm going to take it. We get the right pullback. I told my group last night, I'm just going to be waiting like a sniper. I'm going to wait for the right shot. Everything's going to continue as planned with Palantir, SoFi, the stuff that we do have. Should the right pullback come knocking and we're good to go, then I'm probably going to do that. So you'll get that notification. Just saying. I'm not crazy. I might be crazy. But anyway, it's not one of the many fake me's going around right now. All right. Let's anyway, one final piece. I think with the Nvidia contracts, we should go from $30 a week to more like $100 a week, around there, give or take. So I think what we'll do is we'll instantly use that premium to start buying Palantir shares back. And then start using that to get into other tickers. That should be a nice boost. It's going to spread it pretty thin for a bit. And by thin, I mean when you have that much concentration, shout out to Steve for just that word, concentration. Sometimes words are hard. You're just at the wheels of that stock. Steve and Mark Ryan, a YouTuber that only buys Tesla stock. Right? Now, he has bought with every red spare cent. It's what he says in all his videos. He's bought Tesla. He bought Tesla before the split. He's also down. He's the only guy I know that's bought Tesla and down, right? Because you're just in everything. You buy at the highs, you buy at the lows, and then it pulls back, and you're down. Not a position I want to be in, and if I'm going to tread that line, I wanted to not be long, right? So that's what I'll be doing. Anyway, unless there's a compelling argument or the data changes later, as of now, I think that's going to be in the near future. As far as the dollar goes, we are ultimately holding this weekly zone. For right now, we are just bouncing. Nothing like so. Pink weekly time frame, sold off into the zone, found some buyers-ish. Haven't really changed the weekly pattern, so we can't call it a reversal yet. Just found some. Let's hold. There's your type 1 and type 2 area right there, just hanging out, holding. I still am short the dollar. Nothing's changed. And I call them retail weeks, short weeks like this. It really is not much that I will be changing. Let me get YouTube stream up. Sorry. Bitcoin, nothing. Hanging out in the yellow box. Nothing to break down. Talked about this, the other day. Until it breaks 61, we'll call it 61. Some might argue 62. 61 or, 73, 74. There's nothing to talk about. Okay. I couldn't, maybe someone isn't here just micro trading this thing and paying those kind of fees. I would talk about. Can you imagine how perfect your execution had to be to pay all the fees to get in and out of Bitcoin, making these little baby moves? The S&P did sell off. So last time I was live? Yeah, I held it over the weekend. Yep. So on my last stream, Thursday stream, this alert, we broke this alert. I went long ES. It went right up to the zone. Now that did tag out. I actually even could have taken the trade another time. So we went zone to zone, dropped into the zone, went up into the zone. You got to go to a smaller time frame to see that. Yeah. Zone to zone again. And then we can go, well, technically, zone to zone, zone to zone, zone to zone, zone to zone, based out. Now, I talk a lot about it's not the level, but it's also how it gets there. So I don't want to say today was surprising. It's nothing I certainly took advantage of or anything. But when we head into a zone like this, now look how just controlled and simple that is. That's a very nothing, just lack of buyers, put you to sleep, nothing. And then we finally hit this level, just to, like hitting this the bottom of the ocean. You expect to see some kind of just dirt, sand to come up. That's about what happened here. That's about how many buyers you had. Nothing. You had a footprint of buyers, and then we broke back down. And just a little bit further. What I probably would take with a grain of salt is a lot of the price action we see this week. Let's see what happens next week. As of now, if you're looking for a bounce, some people are just ready to catch that knife at any moment's notice. And arguments could be made for that right there. Breaking that, and I got to say we're headed south to at least. Now, these are 15-minute zones. I know we're on the hourly, but just know. I expect some hiccups there, if not all the way down to that next zone. Tomorrow we have jobless claims. So we do have some letters, right? Thursday. Yeah, so jobless claims, GDP growth. We'll see if that's a mover. I got to say right now I would hang on. So if we just take that, if we got in right now, stopped out right there, just assumed a lower high, risking 7 to make 32. I'll take that trade right now. Matt says that would be insane. Back to the Nvidia one, or what would be insane? Give me one hot second. Oh, I hate the updates. There we go. Finally, there we are. All right, 52.63.50. I'm down $12.50. Just one ES contract right now. So full send. I'm down $25 right now. This is BS. What's my stop? Right below this green wick right here. All right. Right at the expected moves. Okay, so we're gonna bounce this thing, or just because I got in, full send to 2 standard deviations? Not bad. Let's see if we bounce. Maybe I should have waited to buy that. I don't want to be in multiple overnight like this. Maybe I should have bought the NASDAQ, though. Dang. I'm up $12.50. All right, I'm staying where I'm in. That's a big stop. Maybe for you broke people. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm not going to have a tight stop loss overnight. That's silly. That's asking to tag out. It's also why I'm in 1 ES contract. And not like all the other cool YouTubers with their fake accounts doing 10. Are you considering hedging your dollar short if equities crash? Not yet. Solid question. But with elections, I think they prop the market. Yeah, it's 7 points. I guess I could. I just don't know how I would yet. Hang on, we'll go back to the dollar after we do the Russell real quick. Russell finally did break down. So we actually had this on the 4-hour time frame. It was just this, I don't want to call it one candle because it's 2 candles, but just this giant leg, just massive sell-off. We bounced, never got outside of it, and broke it today. So that would have been, this right here would have just been your signal that we're headed south. I would not worry about catching that knife until we got into that yellow zone. I'm thinking of selling most of my dividend stocks and wheeling SPY and QQQ with the equity instead, hoping for a higher % profit. Opinion. Because I know who you are, I think that you would make a lot more money. You know, and that was also why I just sold all my dividend stocks, whole dividend portfolio. My old dividend portfolio, I upgraded to Dividend 2. You know, Nvidia, Google, Meta, those are my dividend tickers now. You agree with Lisa, my husband? I don't know if everyone should take that route, but as far as dividends go, they sound cool. YouTubers sell the idea, and it just sounds so magical, residual income, you know. But when you're an option seller, that 4% a year becomes very nothing, you know, like sweet. And that's about average what most dividends will pay. Any good one, you know, you're going to expect about 4%. I know Matt's on here. Matt is one of my little blue names. He's admin, I guess is what you would say. Mod is what it is. He's a dividend guy. We're going to talk about one of his dividend stocks too. One day he'll be indifferent dividends, like Nvidia, Meta, Google. I'll stand here on this hill by myself. I was waiting for him to comment. Okay, Russell breaking down. Now that could bounce. I don't want to like it's the same situation we had with the S&P. Here we are. We rein this thing back in. Sometimes we run to this and then just it seems like the fireworks die. Sometimes we extend it, rein it back in. Rarely we go for that 2 spot, right? So 2 standard deviations down. And when it does that, 2 standard deviations down, it's going to be 199.52. Ooh, that's when the fun begins. Because it will be quicker than you thought. So I guess we'll keep an eye out for that level. I'll be wheeling Nvidia in June. I think a lot of people will. Okay, I did watch. I didn't want to say this. I don't like talking about other YouTubers, so I don't know much about these guys. But they're called Everything Money, I think. Guy standing in front of the giant TV computer screen talks about it. Talked about 4 things you should know about Nvidia's 10-to-1 stock split. It was questionable how he cherry picked some data. I don't know. It was weird. Said a lot of same things I say as far as like the stock split on Nvidia. It's a psychological thing. It means nothing. I don't know. Like, what blows me away is that there is even a run up into the news. A split means literally nothing. If you order one pizza, a split just means your pizza comes cut. You know, like, it's still one pizza. Did say all that, but what really bugs me is that he pulled up market cap and he pulled up Nvidia and talked about how it's a 2.7 trillion or something like that. And then he pulled up Berkshire Hathaway. And it was like, that's cheaper. Like, why would you ever do that? That's like saying McDonald's is expensive and then pulling up a Zoom chart. I don't get that. And I don't know. Does anybody watch those guys? Does anybody... I try to watch some other YouTubers, but they just not good. I like the background noise. You guys know I'm just passionate about this stuff, right? I like it. There is another YouTuber that I will not name, though. But it is funny. Now, this YouTuber coincidentally says a lot of things I say, and it's not. This was brought to my attention today. It's not the first time. But he talks. Now, you guys might recognize this. What number does Tesla like? Because it's not the $100 level. It's the $80 level. You know, and $20 level. You know, kind of like when I stop at 85 cents and 35 cents. Now, that's something specific just to Tesla. When you trade the same stuff over and over again, you really understand more its characteristics. And the example I use there a lot is, my best friend. His wife cheats on him, okay? You and I both know it'll be mad, right? Red candle. I will know which cuss words he's going to use. I'm going to know what kind of red candle that's going to be. You're just going to know red, right? So you have the idea, like you can talk about price action, whatever your strategy is. Trade the same thing over and over again, and your execution becomes exponentially better. Anyway, that's what I talk about on Tesla. Tesla just does not care about that $100 psychological level like a lot of other things do. And this other YouTuber was talking about that on the NASDAQ, the 80s and 20s level. I was like, on the NASDAQ. Oh, it's like they heard a little bit about what I was talking about and assumed it was for all markets. Anyway, I just wanted to share it with you guys. I thought it was funny. Got a good laugh out of that today. Cody, why do you laugh at those? R. Bass says, I just watched Don. I appreciate that. Last thing before we get into some more tickers. I just want to. I always come in here to get ADD with you guys and choppy. I kind of want to do an in-person like Q&A. I noticed for the last few years, I just talk to a camera all day. Now we do Zoom sessions and all that. Every night I'm alone in my basement. It's my mom's. She lets me stay here. And I talk to myself. On Zoom nights, you guys like to never not talk. Just kidding. But I kind of want to do one in person. Where would you do that at? I don't know if that even matters to you guys, because you're not local. No one's going to fly in from Florida. The level of stuff I'd have to talk about can't be too detailed enough to justify a trip from Florida or something like that. Wall Street, where it all happens. Come to Arizona. Does she need to go on tour? I am going to Florida soon. I don't know. Anyway, is that weird? Fly up to Alberta. One-on-one sledding trip this winter. Maybe I'll just have to go on tour. I want to meet everybody anyway. If you are interested in meeting, by the way, I will be in Florida the 14th. couple weeks. Orlando. So to all my Florida people, go to North Florida and I'll come learn live. Define North. You got it. All right, let's get on with some tickers. Did A&F get called out today? Lisa says thinking. I'm going to cover A&F anyway. An A&F video or chart was shared earlier, and it kind of looked sideways. More like that, and I was like, I wouldn't be too thrilled about going short this. But really zoom out and look at this thing. Let's stretch this out and add, like, if you're looking at charts like this, come on, let's add some excitement. Let's add some emotion in there. Crank those things. At this point, it looks a little overbought. Now, what Abercrombie and Fitch announced today was they make pants for Optimus and all humanoid robots. In fact, the tag is now an AI tag, so it knows like what robot's wearing it in the last day, and should they be washed? You know, did they spill any oil on there or anything? And that's what actually garners this reaction for Abercrombie and Fitch, a retail store. Right now we're up 25%, just shy of that. Ridiculous. What? First of all, have you guys ever been to an Abercrombie & Fitch store? Have you ever been to a mall and walked by one? It's when you start coughing because they don't breathe oxygen out there. I think they just pump their cologne or perfumes through the air filtration system and just take normal oxygen out. 30%, those are GME numbers. Going to keep the videos while on vacation. Heck yeah, I don't see why not. If I can stream from a hospital bed after surgery, I can stream everywhere else, right? I'll have an alligator hold up my Wi-Fi box, get some good signal. Man, I worry I am just going... First of all, if I take this trade and it goes to 100% zero, I might get a notification on my phone. I probably won't even open it. I might even just look at my watch. Like, that sucks. That's about the level of attention I would give this. And being in the seat I'm in, I hate talking about positions like this because people think it shoots up, go short. It shoots down, I should go long. And what they just told you was we had our best quarter ever. And my first instinct was, I'm going to short that thing. You know, it's like your brain's not functioning properly. Your head's on backwards. You know, like it's a well-oiled machine. You're like, you know what? That's going to break. I do think it's a bit overbought. I kind of want to short this. What I think I'll do, however, is probably wait. I doubt I get the opportunity because I would want to go in puts, risking capital, 100%, 0 to hero, which means it makes me money or it doesn't. There's no managing a red trade. There's no stopping out. That would just be silly in a play like this. You know, but if it breaks down like this, the thing is for your puts to make any money, like the trap door's going to have to open. You're going to have to be in the basement and, you know, like the express route. And for it to make a move like that, for you to wait for the breakdown, you're going to spend a lot on those puts and hope it continues. Or you catch the knife. And so that's what that play is going to have to be. I'm going to have to go just 185 puts is a couple dollars out of the money. Probably for next Friday expiration, the 6th. Is it the 6th? 6th or 7th. So that might be my play on that. All right. We thought our zone maker might die when I was at the hospital. I wouldn't mind a hospital trip right now. I know it probably sounds bad, but just laying there doing nothing. I was bored out of my mind, but at the same time, it's like a vacation. Drop like Path did tonight. Did you add Paths? Let me forget that one. Cody, will you add that to the list, please? I don't want to forget Path. Lulu, is it bounce time? I'm sure someone on Instagram is thinking it is. No. Oh, wow. No. Man, I'm going to put an alert right here. I don't know if I'll go long Lulu. I've traded Lulu quite a bit. Not to ever like disrespect Don Kaufman from Theo Trade. He was short this. I was like, don't. That's silly. We're not talking or anything like that. But it just kept going up. It was back here. Just kept going up. I was like, no. Instagram models. Kidding me? I wonder if he's short this now. But right now, I wouldn't touch this. I would wait for a reversal. You know, like, so that alert I just set, if it's like this, it reverses, that alert's going to need some green days to set off, right? So we're talking about a reversal at that point. Then I would go long. To catch a knife on this, it's like catching one of those swords that has a blade on both ends, and you have to catch it in the middle. But you don't know where the middle's at. You're blindfolded. I just don't know if that would be even, like, I like catching knives all the time. So if you're new to this channel, just know that I juggle those things like they are fire pins and I'm at the circus. But I do like specific knives. I like emotion. I like it snapped down and there's just that knee-jerk reaction. You can capitalize on that. This looks like the herd is headed south and no one's contesting it. So I think probably just let that one go. If anything, that would be your short entry right here for a continuation with a stop at 307.85. I would say as far as price action goes, I would watch out for, hang on right there. And literally right where I set my alert. I'm going to have to go a little bit. All right, so we play a lot of the back and forth game. If we get caught in a trap like this, just back and forth, at that point I would consider going long because at least you have your parameters, right? You're just like an algo. If this breaks, I'm out. I'm going to go long here, short here. I would catch the knife at this zone. I'm going to sandwich this one with alerts. You know, if I'm going to catch a knife, it's right here. Type 1, 2, 3. I'll trail it into here, but if that starts to break down, maybe I short it, maybe not. But I would consider buying this dip. NVDA. All right. Nvidia, short-term downside maybe. 1,100 puts for next week. Wouldn't touch it with your money. Even if I stand to gain from it. Not worth it. Nvidia is just front and center. It's got the blush on. It is in camera ready. All eyes are on this, and you're asking for it. There's a reason why I'm waiting for a pullback to buy and not going short. That's why. Now, if you do that, maybe they rein it back in, and you do well. But I think you're asking for it. This one not only looks like a momentum ticker or just overall in general, this looks like 2021 hype, right? You just buy it, and then you check your phone the next day, and you're up 10%. And that's a normal thing. You know, you do that Monday through Friday, probably Monday through Thursday. Friday's like a good pullback for 1 to 2%, you know. The thing is they have the fundamentals behind it. Like their money is growing just as fast as their stock is, this makes this an absolute like behemoth, a juggernaut that just keeps going, which is why it is still one of my favorite stocks, not just to talk about it because it's popular, but because the stars have just aligned on this one. Looks overbought. I agree. But is that the train you want to jump in front of right now? If I'm going to jump in front of a train, I want to see some tracks wobbling. I want to see wheels that fell off. I want to see the side of a cart already. You know, I want to see something. If I'm going to go jump on the tracks and say, don't worry, this train's not going to reach me, I want one wheel already in the grass. I want some kind of brakes showing up on this thing. So I do agree. Overbought. Yep. Growth count. Waiting for a pullback. But to just jump out there and do that, says JK's been overbought for 7 months. Exactly. It does look overbought. And it looks just like it has every day for the last 7 months. Just give me a pullback and base. Yeah, all day. And why wouldn't you do that with Nvidia? Look what Nvidia does. It goes sideways, next leg up. Does that sound familiar? Sideways, next leg up. It just does this. So I hope we're going to kill, and by we, I mean I. If you follow the Patreon and the growth account, then maybe you follow the trades. I don't know. You're going to watch the money go up if it does this, because we're selling puts. We won't sell puts. We'll be selling calls against all the shares, just collecting. And then when it sends it again, we'll get out of that, let the shares appreciate, and we'll do it. That's just a characteristic of Nvidia. And this split, while it does make splits are just worthless. They mean nothing. Okay? And I think you probably should split. There's a psychological level of buying it cheaper. It doesn't make it cheaper, but it's a lot easier to buy. We're just trained that way. And what do you care about when you're in a stock? Buyers and sellers. I don't care what anybody else says. Don't care. I really don't. You can be like Warren Buffett, and you can have your shares at 600,000. Yep. Check the volume on that. There's a reason why there's Berkshire A and Berkshire B. You can be like Bezos, and every time you drink tea, you can put your pinky out, and talk about how your stock's $3,500. Even they gave in and split. This split is going to unlock options. I think it's going to drive liquidity into the options market. It's going to be crazy. Remember when we bought it back at 135? Yes. Yeah, my average, even after adding on, is still in the 300s, and I've added a lot on. Remember when I said at 500 I'm going to wait for a pullback? What's a pullback for Nvidia? 5 to 10%? If you added like maybe a decimal in there, 0.5%, a tenth of a percent. Yeah, there's some solid red candles. Technically, in general, a pullback is anything to 9%. A correction is 10 to 19, and a crash is 20 or more. Let's just compare some other ones. We've got some sharp moves down quite a bit. We'll call that's 12%. Oops. Hang on. There's your next sharp move down, 10%, well, 10.75, so 11. And all I'm really grabbing, there's 13%. Do you guys see what I'm grabbing right here? I'm not grabbing the whole move. Maybe I should, but I'm grabbing just these moves. The grinding down is much easier played, especially if you're an option seller. A lot less emotion involved. But let's just grab from the peak, 20%, 21. We bought Nvidia Leaps, 130, 915 for 2023. Yeah, and 22. Right now, characteristically, I think if we see that 13% drop on Nvidia, it's go time. Let's see. Maybe an overall, you know what? Maybe what we're doing right now is like this is our current peak, and ultimately we pull back down to here. Looks like 23, 24%, and that's going to be your low. You, me, and Jake. Yeah, I wonder how Jake's doing. Hopefully he's doing well. Yeah, leaps are fun, especially when you nail them like that. Remember that one time I told you guys to buy leaps on Meta? It was $90. Did you guys do that? Cody, how many leaps did you buy? Oh, you didn't. Oh, that's awkward. All right. Not last but not least, but to wrap this up, this ticker, no, I just don't. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze. What's going to suck is Nvidia's going to pull back, and you're going to think I should have bought those puts. If you can't live with that decision, by all means, send it. Even if Nvidia pulled back, you bought the 1100 puts, it pulls back to 1080, right? It fills a gap or whatever someone said. And that trade made money. try taking that trade the next 100 times and see how much it pans out. $90 leaps on Meta 10 years ago. Negative, Lisa. Was it last year? Is he going to be like Tesla where it splits then goes back to 1K? Damned if you do, damned if you don't. If I say it, it won't happen. If I don't, it will, and I'll be dumb. Do I personally think that it's a matter of when, not if? I do think Nvidia is just getting started. Like I told you guys, I think there is an AI bubble. I saw Meet Kevin had a YouTube thumbnail that says the AI bubble ends Monday. We're going to collapse. I saw people on Twitter saying that it's going to collapse. Sweet. Hopefully it does. I think this is if this is an AI bubble like the .com bubble, we are in 1996. If this is a balloon fresh off the shelf. It has zero air. It's just a latex balloon right now. This bubble hasn't started yet. I'm waiting for the split on Nvidia, then I can afford it. Yeah, I think a lot of people will. Now you can buy 1,000 of Nvidia right now. You can buy 1,000 of Nvidia later. It's only 10 shares to 1, but it's also 10 shares to 100 after the split, which unlocks options, which a lot of people do as far as like selling options and going from a trading strategy to an income strategy. I think it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to take full advantage of it. I kind of think we probably get a pull back into the 90s. It's kind of where I'm at. That's throwing darts. We'll see if I'm right or not. Google, Tesla, Emma. Futures was a snooze fest today. Yeah. You got 4.5 points on one contract. Hey, that's 9 points better than being negative 4.5, you know? I'd rather the more expensive share. Easier in and out, 10 shares versus 100. I hear you on that because that's what I liked about Amazon. When an Amazon at the money call was 16 grand, yeah, I just need to buy one contract. And in 5 minutes, I'm up 5-6 grand. That was a cakewalk. I did love that. There was no editing. Auto 1. Yeah, send it. Make it fill. But in the case of holding the shares and selling against it, I think the split's going to be great. Google. Cody, which one? Are you still in your 7750s? Ooh, is that for this Friday? You're pushing it. You're in the 180s. Okay. No, you're fine. We're not going anywhere. For that to wake up, I mean, for as much as you are up on that tomorrow morning, how annoying would that be, by the way, if job reports come in and says Google led the way? You know, something ridiculous. You're going to be up 80% on that contract, and then it's just going to go to red. I would close it in the morning. Yeah, I'd close it tomorrow morning. I'm in the 180s as advised. Not by me, of course. Maybe by your financial advisor. Sponsored by me. Anyway, I'm working. It's probably premature. There's some things going on. Mike's involved, right? You guys know the thing we're building? There is going to be a chat bot involved. You know, chatbots have memory now, so they can remember what I say. It's going to be a good thing. I'm excited for it. Tesla's holding. I don't know if this is giving me FOMO. It shouldn't, right? When a stock goes sideways like this, minus your dip down and up, this is just flat. As flat as can be. I think Tesla's gearing up. I really do. Oh, thank you. Steve just posted this. Yeah, Lisa, it wasn't actually. It had just hit like 90 when I talked about buying Meta. And I begged everyone to buy Meta at these levels. Go back to YouTube. Everything. Please do it. Now, it was painful going from here to here. but the please everyone buy this, and then it sent it. Was amazing. Felt good. Same season. My niece also owns half a share of that at 140. What reasons do I have? I guess he's got his announcement up in August. Deliveries. I'm curious to see how deliveries are going to pan out. We should get that next month. Late next month. That's kind of like as far as a catalyst goes. You don't necessarily need a catalyst to drive something necessarily. You know, if you really want a stock to sell off, introduce it to a red candle. That'll do way more than any news will. Same with green. Look at Nvidia. People like to just get emotional and go with that current trend until it comes time to buy. When emotions take over, that trend's going to continue to infinity. If it's green, it's probably going to go up to 1 million. If it's red, the stock's going to go to 0. When it comes to buying that thing or anything else, nope. For now, Tesla is. I hate being in this position again, because what do you say when a stock's sideways? Especially if you're new to my channel, when it's sideways like this, I don't do anything. You show me your cards first, and then I'll make a move. You know, if I'm long this, if I'm long options, I probably have to be in some kind of management because things are ticking away. If you're an option buyer, this is killing you. Maybe you got some movement right here. This crap right here, if you're one that likes to give it long dated times, you're just watching theta just slowly burn that thing away. If I'm in shares, my alerts are up here. You know, alert me when this thing wakes up. You know, wake me up when it wakes up. Other than that, if it's sideways, so am I. And that's kind of how I would sit with this. As an option seller, is the 187.50s. Are we in 250 increments? I'd be right above this spike right here. I'm calling it. 190s if I was nervous. That'd be it. I feel like Elon has a backdoor deal with Trump and federal grants to come if he's in office. I don't know if you need to mention Trump, not because of Trump or Biden or anything like that. Elon's got a lot of contacts. Our missiles do what they do a lot because of Elon's rocket technology. So they're not meeting for no reason. I'm sure. But to speculate on that, and God forbid you say the word Trump, you know, publicly, you're just asking for ridiculous comments. But I would say I would agree with that, with or without Trump. I think there's a lot of contacts involved there. Is Tesla pulling over in an uptrend or pulling over in a downtrend? Actually, let me answer that question real quick. Because I told you guys this was like Meta at 90. When Tesla was right here, this is what I told you guys. And I think this price action right here, I think somebody wanted it cheap. The way this got bought back up, like, yeah, it was trending down nicely. It was just fine. If you're a Tesla hater, you had content for days because it was just trending down. And what do the Tesla people know? Elon came out and said, we're going to say something in August. And it's like Elon just needed to sneeze, and they jumped on this so fast. I don't know who they is, but somebody bought it up quick. And that tells me people just had their fingers on the trigger, and they just finally said, hey, we're in. We're going to lock this position in now. So I do think that was the bottom for Tesla. We'll see if I'm right. Either we break this or we don't. Probably Kathy. I want to give Kathy credit. But she called Roku innovative. And no one has yet to break that down for me. What are they innovating? Have a Roku TV. Well, like the Roku thing on a TV. My daughter watches YouTube on it. Super innovative. Super. All right, what did Amazon do today? Nothing. pre-market and then nothing, and then decided to just let the air out. What a nothing day. Now you have the, what contract do you have on this again? $182.50s. We're going to let them go? I wanted to buy it back at open and sell it again, but no. Okay. Bezos needed money at 8:30. I would still let those expire. I would rock that thing until Friday. And I bet it's going to expire worthless. I bet you'll be able to get a full week even at the money, if not a couple bucks out, if you wanted to. Why is this not bouncing? I'm sure it will around the 11:30 mark. I know you guys might think this looks very choppy, and if you've ever been in Ford and held for some time, you would understand just how insane these zones actually are. You could probably, wouldn't surprise me if there was a bounce right there. That right there at the 50-cent mark. But I would bet it comes down here. I'd let that go a tad bit further, and I'd sell some 11 puts. Let's see if we stay in this range for a little bit. Ford is making you angry. You wanted to go at 12.50. Remember that one time? For as much as you followed me, Cody, how did you let this one go? Now I'm going to sell at the 12s. Oh, no. How will you ever keep the lights on? What's your average cost on Ford? $3? 3 cents? Why do you have to let it go? Just following my steps and using the money elsewhere, or? I'm going to keep 100 shares, but I want to let 100 of it go. Okay. So here's what I would do. Keep it as income until you need the shares. Until you need the money. Nvidia's got the dip buy. Marge won't stop calling you. You know, she found you on Facebook again. Your next profile. Then I would sell flat out. If it's at 11.77, I would sell the 11.50s, kind of thing. It'll pay for itself because of the real value plus whatever time value is left. So it's not like you're losing on it. And your average, and for everybody that's watching, the average cost on Ford should be pushing $5. This is something he's followed me with for a while, just selling contracts against. I've done explaining that on YouTube because it's amazing how many people say this is dumb until they do it, and then they're just doing it forever. So yeah, you could market sell it right now. You could do whatever you want to get out of this, but that's what I would do. Wait till the money is needed. I would give it one final hoorah, and then I would just sell that slightly in the money call. At least get paid to get out. Well, then you're good. Get wrecked. Did we even hesitate at that zone? This is why I didn't fill that zone in. Just kidding. Last night I told my group, just future reference, guys. If it's two white lines like this, that's a yellow zone. I just didn't fill it in. There's no difference in these two. Blue is a speed bump zone. And I think 2, maybe 3 charts total have the speed bump zones look like this. So if you were doing like an earnings live stream, it looked like it held for about 120 seconds. And then it really melted down. Saw they missed earnings. First time since 2006. Okay, 15-minute chart shows 2 candles, wicks that popped back up to the 270 area. Overreaction. That might be a broker thing. First time they missed? Was it a surprise? Surprise! What did they miss by? They missed by 17 million. That's a lot if you and I had to foot that bill. We were estimating they make 9.15 billion. That's with a B. That's 1,000 millions, by the way. And they missed by 17 million. If I won the lottery and they're like, we're going to be 17 million shy, we can give it to you today. Fine. That's it? Yeah, I'll take it. Do you think that's a lot? I wouldn't want to catch that bill. You know, if I went out to eat and it cost me $17.5 million, I'd say that's a lot. That would get the a lot reaction out of me. Billions and missing by that. I don't know. That might be. It's certainly a knife catch. What does CRM do? Salesforce. They say they have a lot of AI in there. I used to use it. It's a customer database. You know, like I would type in there anytime I have notes with somebody, you would just be in there and I would just have notes to remind myself of who this customer is. It's basically your profile. And I can look things up in different data points. I am curious, do they use AI or does AI ultimately replace it? Client database service. A subscription-based client database service. I know right now they're doing a lot of the AI talk. Doesn't look like it helped them out, though. For now, I still like them. As far as catching a knife goes. What I would do is my stop would be 215.45. So you're what, just shy of $13 a share on a little over $200 product. If it broke that zone, we might hang out here and go. It might even bounce around between these two zones, but I would take that to get out and then reevaluate. See what are we just holding here? Maybe I get it. Because if I were to tag out here and I see we're bouncing at this, I'll get in with my new stop at wherever the new wicks are. But still looks like a decent dip buy for investment if that's your thing. Yeah, overall I don't think it looks bad. It's just, it's each their own. Some people really don't like the knife catching. I don't think it's that bad though. A customer relationship management. Thank you. System helps manage customer data. It supports sales management, deliver actionable insights, integrates with social media, and facilitates team communication. It is handy. I will say that. Home Depot, you want to get your next set of shares at 305. I would probably have my alert at 330. Yeah. You can put it at 330 or like 332 above these wicks. And if it turns around, it might be time. But if it breaks that zone and heads south, you might just get your opportunity. Someone once said, "Scared money don't make money." I assume it was one of the wisest mentors out there. It would be cool to get my other 50 shares at 305. Yeah, the one thing I would say, because this is a dividend portfolio, so now we're talking in dividend mindset-wise, What's the ex-dividend date? Let's say it breaks off right down to that next zone at 315. You want it at 305. This is a $300 item. Okay, if there's an Xbox out there, it's 315 instead of 305. Are you just gonna say no? Are you, whatever your items are, whatever you want to buy, is that difference going to make or break the deal? And that's what I'd be asking myself, because you got the ex-dividend date coming up. Not that you would want to jump in and collect $2 on this, but let's see, Thursday the 30th. Oh, that's tomorrow. Okay, scratch that. I'm thinking, like, if we're at the 315 zone and dividend date's coming up close, is it really worth the extra, hoping it drops another $10? Not to say it can't just breeze right past that and come right on down to 280. But when it comes to dividends, you want to be in the shares. It's not even a qualified dividend until you've had it for 90 days. I don't know if that means buy at whatever price, but just some things to consider. It's not like you're saying, it's at 350 and I want to buy it at 250. We're 326 and you're hoping to buy it at 305. You get what I'm saying? You're just trailing it with alerts if it turns. I like that idea. I like that you listen. Better than cutting it in half. Sounds like AI is going to have to start paying for individual data more. Calls on clouds. I don't know. There is a bunch of regulation trying to happen with AI right now. But there's real data, and then there's synthetic data that they just create and double check on themselves. And I kind of think it's too little too late. They have enough now that we can say, hey, going forward, we won't use your information. We'll just have our models train themselves. Meta's knocking on that door. Meta took like 7 or 8 different LLMs and came up with an idea, or had one come up with an idea and had the others double check the person's work, like a daisy chain. Like, he's going to come up with something, you double check that work, you double check that work, you double check that work, and by the time it all comes around, you should have a finished idea. Like, oh, so we're just waiting on Terminator, huh? Can't wait to see what Arnold Schwarzenegger looks like. The new one. Okay. All right. Sold the 480 covered calls on Meta, hoping it gets assigned and I can use it to buy Nvidia. Not looking good. Trying not to FOMO and grabbing 10 to 50 shares of Nvidia. Okay, so you're gonna let fate decide. You sold the 480. AI plywood, by the way. What? I've cut off toes as well as treated toe fractures when I practice. Oh no, what happened? Oh, toes, Biker Brian. Okay, chainsaw. 480. I don't think you're getting assigned. I think we rejected that zone. You sold the 480 for this Friday. You probably just collected free internet money. Maybe unless tomorrow's report just kills it, and everybody's just buying again. Sounds like you'll be selling the 480s for next week too. Trying not to FOMO on grabbing to. I don't think there should be, me personally, zero FOMO on Nvidia. Absolutely love it. Generational idea kind of thing. But you can still wait for a pullback. Looking for covered calls to sell on Palantir and SoFi for next week. SoFi, I feel like it might still be the 7s. Because if we hang out here, we're in the 7s. They'll probably expire worthless. And if we hang out here, we get a couple more days below. We'll sell the 7s again on Monday, and then if it does push up, we're in management mode. You could sell the 7s or the 750s for nothing. I just think if we sell the 7s and it's slightly in the money by a few pennies, we'll still collect a week's worth of theta. We'll just roll it to the 7s to the next week. Maybe even go 2 weeks out and do 750s, unless, of course, it is time to buy Nvidia. But for what you're doing, that's what I would think about is how high is this thing really going to go if you sold the 7s? Now, you can wait. Hopefully a green day like this pops up and then sell the 750s. That would be a little bit more ideal, less management at least. Just put your alert there. If it sends it after the move, then sell the calls. You don't collect much on these anyway, so you can probably wait for a green day. But if it's one of those borderline back burner plays, you're collecting it for weekly income, and if you have to manage it, so be it. Then I would sell the 7s. All right. Palantir. Is Palantir's up after hours? Look at it go. Pentagon awards $480 million deal to Palantir for the Maven prototype. Send it. Another contract, it sounds like. All right, so it's up. I would probably still sell the 22s. 2250. If we just full send this thing tomorrow, you might be talking about the 23s. But as of now, with this price action, the way it already, if we just ran that thing green and into the dirt, I think you're good. And Don comes through with the government contract on Palantir. I told you I had my contacts, Lisa. Just give me 1 second. Because this is public, Lisa, why don't we tell them what I said I would do? I said Palantir pumps on government contracts, and you said make it happen. So I said I'll reach out to the government. This was a few days ago, a couple days ago, when I forgot when it was. Anyway, what do you know? Contract. You're welcome. Don't mention it. Tell Lisa you arranged the government contract as requested. Listen, coincidence? Let's see. I want to see what because Robinhood has it to where you can trade this 24 hours. Robinhood right now has it at 21.28. So, yeah, it's not like we're just in full-blown send it mode, but a decent green candle. Any kind of continuation or green day tomorrow, and your 23 cost might be good. Got 284 for the 480 covered calls on Meta. Nice. So that's a couple of free Nvidia shares. That's what you should do, James. The premium you collect on the Meta covered calls, use that to buy your Nvidia shares. And then once it gets called away, then grab the rest. What if it never gets called away? I'm assuming Cody was a typo. I think he meant CRM. If it's not, he will text me. Okay, path. Here we go. Oh, man. I do have this in my investment account. Until they announce bankruptcy. All right, so yikes. All right, CEO stepped down. Is there more to that? Let's see. I wish I knew this. Now, if time to average down. Piece of good news: the CEO got replaced by the old CEO and founder of Path. Bad guidance. Okay, so the guidance is what's doing this? I was gonna say, when we have a move like this and CEOs are being switched up, I'm curious. Maybe it's just because my head just goes to that place. What are we going to find out in 30 days? Well, is there going to be an indictment later? Like what happened as to why you're stepping down? Did you want to step down, or is it it's best for the public image of the company and you if you step down. It looks like you're getting in front of something. But okay, guidance it is. We just full-blown sent this thing right to 13. Good news is, if you liked it at 19, you love it at 13. I would let the dust settle before I catch this one. Absolute knife catch. Line in the sand. 10.50 to 11. Breaks that. Yikes. Who knows? Maybe it's just the best dip buy of your life. Again, after earnings, let's let the dust settle and see where it's at. Let's let the. I certainly wouldn't be making any rash decisions on a short week. Come next week, let's see where this is at. It's in my investment house, so it's not doing anything for me. It's going to have a bunch of earnings, you know. As a trade, I don't like making emotional decisions at the bottom, so I do take a step back before I make a dumb decision. But that being said, let's say maybe you were long this, you had your risks planned for right here, you didn't know there was earnings. For whatever reason, maybe it's just past that. At that point, you do have to manage it. You do have to have your line in the sand of, my stop was right here. That's cool. And it sucks. It really does. There's no taking it back. We're here now. So we can talk about where the stop was and how life isn't fair. But right now, here's where it's at. Where are you absolutely getting out again? The good news is that with path so much closer to the ground, it has good opportunity for the dust to settle on it. just sprinkle that salt on there, huh? All right, Palantir, you sold the 20 puts and it shot up. Yeah, I'll check that right now, technician. Okay. And 7 put sold for SoFi for this Friday. Okay, you'll have that. Better average than everything else. What I need is 1 share of Meta and Apple. Meta, I would go ahead and the couple bucks off, I'd just go ahead and grab. And 121 shares more of Palantir. If SoFi stays under 7 and I get the shares, if it stays under 7, I get the shares. If not, the growth account gets them called away. I'm in the same boat there. No, they don't get called away. If it stays under 7, I still have the shares. I just got to keep all the money. I was going to wait till the next red day to sell an in-the-money put for Palantir for the 7th, and you sold the 20s. But your talks last night of Nvidia has me a slight pickle due to if you're getting ready to liquidate, then I need to hang tight. Getting ready to liquidate might be 3 weeks out. What if I change my mind? What if some data comes out and I don't want to do that anymore? That's why last night I was saying stick to the plan. Worst case scenario, the absolute worst case scenario is you buy right before the alert comes out and it costs you a day trade. That's it. Oh, you didn't sell the 20s. You missed it? You just don't like free money, huh? If it's above 7 as far as SoFi goes, I'm going to roll it. I'm not going to let them go at 7. It's just the 750s are worth literally nothing. So it's just not worth my time. So we'll still be rolling at the money on that. So everything about your SoFi play will just have a better entry than mine. Let's see. Just need some guidance on a suggestion and time frame on how to play this. Keep doing what you're doing. I think you're doing good. Not financial advice, just the best way that I can get back square with the growth account. I mean, the growth account is mine. I can't tell you what to do on that. Especially after getting bombed by the SPY trade. By missing that one. Let's see. You're on the right track with SoFi. You should be caught back up. Just a better entry. As far as Palantir goes, the shares, the 21 shares, I might just go ahead and grab. And then, yeah, I would sell an at the money put. Can you guys hear all the noise in the background? How loud is that? Because it is. I don't know if kids are dying or what. Do you mainly use Robinhood to sell puts, or do you use TradeStation to sell them too? Robinhood's the growth account, and TradeStation's my main account. I use them both. Can't hear any noise? Okay, cool. Because it's World War III. I'm going to have to go check and make sure everyone's alive. Separate them. Declaw them, maybe. Not the cats, my kids. So, yeah, I'd hang tight. I think you're doing all right. Oh no, Cody, what? Can I show this? They must be using silencers. Oh, Cody, what is going on? That's your... Why would they take your exhaust? If that's your muff... Where's the front at? Someone robbed you of your catalytic converter? You can fix that, right? How do you answer this on YouTube? There is what you call a high flow cat on YouTube. eBay. That's what you fix it with. Your car gets a little bit louder. It also runs a little bit better. That looks like a turbo. There's not a turbo anywhere. That's either your catalytic converter right there and they stole the wrong part, or that is part of a... This car has multiple mufflers. So I can drive that. Yeah, all that is, you don't want that touching the ground. There should be a hanger somewhere. It's missing that, or the hanger was up here, and they cut it. My iPad's in the way. Can I rotate this thing? Where's the front of the car, Cody? Is this the front? Wait, if this is the front, that's your catalytic converter. They stole the wrong part? Front is the top? Yeah. All right, cool. They stole the wrong part. That's the expensive part. That's the part that's palladium in there. And you'll see a bunch of meth heads will cut this out to take the inside contents out. It probably just fell off. I don't know. You don't want that touching the ground. It's going to sound janky. You hit any bumps, you're going to hear that. It's going to sound a little ghetto. If it's just the exhaust back, something was wrong with the converter. Check engine light was on for a while. Oh, so it's just clogged. It's just a chemical reaction. Anyway, you're not supposed to, especially if you live in California. You can just beat the crap out of it and take the contents right out of the inside. It opens up the airways. It flows a lot better. So your car typically runs better, but it does get louder. Just join the lowrider club in the area. They'll hook you up. What a dork. Yeah, if you think that fell off, I mean, I'm no investigator, but I've never seen an exhaust have a clean break. I've never seen rust just choose a straight line, and I've seen chain cutters use some. It's like, you can drive right now? Yeah, you can drive it. Yeah, you're just fine on that. Take it for a spin. It's going to sound louder than it normally does because your mufflers, all it does is just bounce the sound back and forth a bunch of times. So by the time it comes out, it's quieter. So you're going to lose that part of it. It was really loud. That's why I came home. What you do is you put your foot in it, man. You lean into it. You enjoy the better gas mileage. Never mind. I'm thinking catalytic converter's gone. There's no better gas mileage. Your muffler is just a sound thing. It's just to muffle the sound. Nothing else. This is the expensive part to replace and why your check engine light's on. If it is the catalytic converter, not an O2 sensor, which should be... Maybe there's one down here and probably another one up front. When the fire comes out, it's so much better. There's not fire coming out. The light isn't on anymore. The car must like this new upgrade. Huh. Everything you're saying sounds like the converter's missing now. Maybe your car has two. It's been a while. I'm not in the profession of stealing catalytic converters. I'm in the profession of running the people over mid cut, you know? Sneak in that thing, crank it on, and just jam that thing in reverse or drive and go. Crank the wheel, make sure you get one of them. But if it's clogged, then it was getting too much back pressure and it wasn't working right, and that maybe threw the code, and now it's off. Then you're good. Wish we could watch the reaction when they got home and realized they took the wrong part. When they take that to the scrapyard, how much can I get? About 4 cents. I have some duct tape. Oh, cool. You just want it to smell? You're going to melt that tape right off. Don't use duct tape. Metal hanger. Want it to be rattly. An exhaust shop. Pay the guy $20. I would show up to the exhaust shop with a Chipotle gift card and say, "Can you just toss a hanger on this real quick?" And done. And just done. Call it a day. Yeah, don't use anything plastic. It needs to be metal. All the metal hanger is quite literally just a metal J-hook welded onto the pipe, and then there's a rubber, looks like an 8. There's another hanger on your car, and it just connects those two. It just lets it bounce without clinging around. Let's see. All right. Well, we don't have to spend any more time on this. Hopefully everyone made it the whole time. I had a buddy catch some catalytic thieves, kicked his family jewels up and around the guy's ears. Man, if I caught you trying to steal my catalytic converter, the only thing going through my mind is how fast can I get in that car? Like I'm gonna be thinking about remote start it, unlock it, all at the same time, so I can run, jump, jam it in gear, because I'm gonna run the guy over, and I'm gonna play stupid. Like, I didn't know he was under there. Well, how often do you check underneath your car before you drive somewhere? You know, sorry, sucks to suck. And he's gonna catch the beat down of his life while the police are on the way. Stocking car tips just doesn't get any better. That famous soap opera actor just died when confronting thieves stealing his converter. Saw it on the news. That's it. On a serious note, is that worth your life? No. You know. Are you thinking that when it happens? Yeah, Lisa, we're done. They shot him, young guy. Ooh. Well, it's faster than getting ran over. I'm just trying to think, what if I was in that situation? No, because we're sending some back. They said he didn't even try to stop them. Oh, that's dumb. It happened in L.A. That's crazy. He came back to his car while they were stealing it, and they shot him. Yeah, you don't even. You probably get. I think someone said you get a couple $100. Honestly, if it's worth your life, give me $200 or I'll kill you. Like, all right, let's go to the ATM. You know, that sucks. What a bad situation to be in. Hopefully, those people die. Hopefully, the next car they're in is someone like me, and they run them over. That's what should happen. All right, ladies and gents. The guy thought his car was going to get towed, and they were stealing his. Weird. Well, that sucks for him. Really does. That's very unfortunate. All right, I got to wrap it up here. I'm interested to see all the comments. If you made it this far in the YouTube video and you're not in the mentorship, what are your comments on the car stuff? I just want to see the comments now, especially if you made it this far. So I'm going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Mentorship, you'll see me bright and early tomorrow morning. Everyone else, you'll see me tomorrow night, actually. Have a good one.